trading has become a billion-dollar business.
We are Earth's protectors. Everything that's living needs water.
Scarce water is to the 21st century
what plentiful, available, cheap oil was in the 20th century.
I don't want to see another oil spill happen. I don't want to see it happen because in my land there's been waste dumped into the Colorado River that can never be cleaned.
This pipeline, they're trying to get it to ship out the Bakken shale formation oil.
They want our water. If they can get the water, they can control us. They have us. I mean, we're finished without water.
Where I'm from, on the Fort Berthold Reservation, we're in the heart of the Bakken, where since about 2008, they've been in our community fracking.
You know, we have parts of our country which are
economic powerhouses,
which have this Achilles heel, and it's called water availability. And so the question of how do you allocate who gets water, who doesn't get water, how much they get, how do you use it? These are issues which
Der Delinquent wird hier mit dem Bauch auf diese Bank gelegt. Das Haupt schaut durch diesen Durchgang. Hier ist ein Riemen, auf dem die Stirn ruht. Und auf das Kommando zieht der Henker an diesem Hebel. Das Messer fällt herab, trennt den Körper vom Rumpf und der Kopf fällt dann in diese Fangeinrichtung.
these are issues which the world is unskilled as of yet in making these decisions.
Ja, das ist ein schwieriger Apparat. Kompliziert und groß. Ja.
That's how the oil is getting out of the ground to be shipped through this pipeline. Our tribal nations, tribal council, was basically bullied by Energy Transfer Partners for Dakota Access to go through our Buffalo Ranch. They said, if you don't sign this over and get some money for it, we're going to condemn it and we're going to take it anyway. So they signed. If their plans work out, what they plan to do is bore underneath the Missouri River.
This fight for me is personal. This was the land that my great-grandmother was murdered on.
There's no question. The companies say, oh, it's perfectly safe. We've got all of this leak detection equipment. They told us that with Keystone 1. Don't worry, people of North Dakota. We have the latest state-of-the-art equipment. 14 spills and leaks in the first year of operation, a major one here in North Dakota, which was not discovered by the company. It was discovered by a farmer.
Well, it's been very cheap.
So if people would thought more about their cable bill than they did about their water bill, number one. It's also out of sight, out of mind, because most water travels underground and you don't therefore see it. And all that means it's been taken for granted.
It's $1 trillion industry.
Fangeinrichtung.
Went out and saw a 60-foot geyser over the top of the tree lines and was like, wait, is that oil? State-of-the-art leak detection equipment didn't detect that. It isn't just about us here in North Dakota and the Standing Rock Sioux tribe who's immediately in the vicinity. It's also about the 18 million people that are downstream whose water supply would be impacted. It's so much more than just one pipeline. We're trying to wake the world up to see that we have to have a just transition away from the fossil fuel economy. We have to. We can't live without clean water. We can't live without clean air. We have alternatives to oil, no question. We do not have any alternatives for water.
Initially, farmers welcomed the creation of water markets. Big agricultural players saw it as an effective way to buy water, whilst others planned to supplement their income by selling their surplus. But 10 years later, the markets have become ruthless.
There's lots of people that don't understand the water market. I don't understand the water market. Just unless you keep on to it all the time, you just don't know what's happening. And I don't think a lot of us know what's happening in the water market. Unless you're buying, you don't want to look at the water market because lots of times it only depresses you. Especially if you're looking for water and you think, oh, it'll go down. No, it doesn't. It keeps going up.
In the late 1800s, Congress struck a unique set of land, water, and grazing allowances by granting settlers property, known as allotments, to encourage westward expansion. But over decades, Goss alleges shifting government policies and court challenges have left land and water rights unclear.
And we need to really figure out a way to bring it back to its glory as what it used to be.
But amidst New Mexico's harsh cyclical drought, water rights are critical for ranchers like the Gosses, and they say they'll continue to fight against an agenda intent on disrupting their viability.
They just continue to take and take and take.
We ain't got a free pass on the enterprise, no free rides, all complaint, all that chat, haul it back, forth and forth. They can talk up, walk to walk, down from mine and borders, cause rocks, bow, saucy sauce, God, blow, Lord oh Lord, out, bubba, I don't feel that thing, hot, the brain, back, forth and forth. They can talk up, walk to walk, down from mine and borders, cause rocks, bow, saucy sauce, God, blow, Lord